What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly astrology forecast for the week of February 14th through the 20th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Well, I appreciate you all so much. I hope that you had a great weekend. I definitely had a good weekend. It was mellow, chill. I got some sleep. Sleep was good. I needed to rest, so hopefully you're all feeling rested, or some of you are probably up pretty late if you're on the East Coast. It's almost 12 there, but yeah, hope you had a great weekend. Super Bowl happened today. Looked like, I think the Rams won. I didn't watch much of it, but caught a few bits and pieces. But as we come into this week of astrology, there's a lot going on. It's Valentine's Day on Monday, of course, February 14th. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope that you are spending it with someone special, or maybe that special person is yourself. But, definitely a time in Aquarius season with this moon coming into Leo and a full moon in Leo on Wednesday. A lot of it's going to be making sure that you're loving yourself, that you're feeling good. Get yourself a Valentine's Day gift. Maybe don't expect with a South Node in Scorpio someone to just shower you. Shower yourself with love and all that abundant energy. Of course, shower your loved ones as well. But what a Valentine's Day we get. This Valentine's Day is pretty epic on Monday. We do get an exact Mars-Venus conjunction, but it's kind of in crusty Capricorn. Kind of, not like the most loving sign. This is Saturn's home, of course, and it's not that Capricorn can't be loving and nurturing, but it's almost like we're all so focused on the work and the mission, and Mercury will be finishing up in Capricorn for half the day. It'll be at that 29th degree too, so kind of edgy Capricorn energy on Monday. But it is pretty epic to have Venus and Mars come together on Valentine's Day. This is the feminine energy, the masculine energy coming together here to really create something, to create life, to create a relationship that hits a high standard that's built to last. When you think about Capricorn, it is something substantial. Like Capricorn's not just going to build something that doesn't have a strong foundation or a substance or isn't going to get somebody somewhere. So we're all looking to get somewhere right now. And I think there's a big point here on this Valentine's Day where it is Aquarius season too. It's always funny to me that Valentine's Day falls in Aquarius season, which is literally the sun is farthest away from love and Leo, but it is the love of other people. Creating something substantial with the people in our lives is very important right now. And I think that there's edgy thoughts with Mercury finishing up in Capricorn to start the week and then to come into Aquarius where, of course, I really like Mercury in Aquarius. I think it really gives us a chance to connect the dots. A lot of deep thoughts that we've had with Mercury coming off Pluto, and it was there for a long time with the station. So there's something about this creative energy and this love really too. And I think a really strong passionate energy is in the air. But it's about, the long term here, the long haul. Where's everything going? What have you been working towards? Are you working towards it with the right people? And I think this week is kind of a big week for that. And where Valentine's Day might show up, where there is this, it is the second time in, I think, 7 months that we've seen a Mars-Venus conjunction. The last one was in June in Leo. Maybe it was July. But it was, of course, in Leo. And definitely a different time back then. So we're kind of like in a new time. I think really seeing what's solid right now and what isn't. And also in terms of our manifestations, Venus is not only relationships, but it's, of course, money and self-worth and being able to really feel good and take care of yourself. So there's something about putting in the necessary work, which Mars in Capricorn will put in the work to get that goodness or to get that sense of stability in life that we might be looking for. But there is that Pluto, which is making the trine over to the North Node in Taurus. It's sextile that South Node in Pluto. It's a very fated, this is a big fate train kind of week. When you think about Pluto getting involved with the nodes, it's, pretty rare. It happens every so often. It's not like a yearly transit, These things move slow. The nodes, of course, change sign every 18 months, and Pluto can be in a sign for 12 to 24 years. So Been seeing a lot of Pluto in Capricorn since 2008, but we are at the tail end, the top of the mountain, and now we're getting this big node check to kind of make sure we're pursuing the right path up the mountain and making sure that I think we have the right people in our corner. There's something about also being able to let go of things. With that South Node in Scorpio, we can want to emotionally attach ourselves to so many different structures, whether they are relationship structures or job structures or, so many different things, where we're at a place where we're seeing which things we're investing our emotions in actually have a payout at the end. I think Mercury was getting to the bottom of that. And now we're actually coming to a place where we connect those dots more. But there's a powerful time to use this kind of harmonious energy with Pluto and the nodes to really manifest, especially with Mars and Venus coming together. There's something about we know we need to push, but we have to also be willing to push in areas that are abundant in our lives, that do make us feel good. And maybe not in areas that are, just kind of, are they working? We have to be honest with ourselves, I think, right now, and hold that integrity, as we do have these planets in Capricorn and Venus and Mars coming together. We really want to, have the integrity within ourselves to make big decisions, because that is Capricorn energy too. So there could be big relationship decisions coming up this week and Valentine's Day, and nobody ever wants to. It's always sad on Valentine's Day. You will run into so many people that are either in something they don't want to be in or not, and it just drags them down. There's Valentine's Day, or they don't have a Valentine. So I think we don't want to get too obsessed with what that could be or who's around, but we're also taking the necessary steps to create something amazing right now. So North Node in Taurus is definitely a powerful sense with Pluto here of coming into power within all the things you are capable of creating in life and how you can really manifest. Taurus is very manifesting energy in itself, and Pluto is death and rebirth. So it's like there's so many things in life that could feel like they're dead, or could feel like they're just taking flight. They're just, being birthed into existence right now. Gotta focus on the things that are healthy in life. I think that's important. Like, what is healthy to you right now when it comes to a lot of things, whether it is work or business? Are you taking care of yourself enough? Is the relationship healthy? I think you can see very clearly right now if it is, and if things are connecting fully, or if there's definitely like a circuit out on the circuit board and things are just kind of. I think we can get to the nitty-gritty of why they are not, but we have to have that integrity and be honest with ourselves. And then I think it's important to speak up as well about our futures, that Mercury will come into Aquarius, and it's going to be coming out of shadow next week. So we're at this final Mercury shadow part of this whole retrograde period of Mercury. And there's a lot of forward momentum into the future here. We should definitely be kind of coming up with new ideals for what is the full connection and the right people. And I think the more we're connecting and expressing and being honest with ourselves and other people, we're going to start to see certain connective circuits get, really strong and put together. So I think this is a very beautiful sort of energy this week as we're coming into. There are certain people that are here right now. It's almost like people are really coming together in very magical ways based on decisions, because Capricorn's about decisions, and we've been dealing with a lot of decisions for the last couple years with, of course, Pluto, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter in Capricorn. So everything's pretty big decision, but these big decisions have kind of led to kind of this moment of who's getting up there with you, who's in it for the long haul, who isn't, who's a player in the game. I think is important to note, who's really playing this game of life. I think we're all playing to an extent, but, we're all kind of playing a different role. And I think there's something about, too, like, not everybody can play the same role. We all need to be connecting and linking with people that are of a like-minded nature, but have something else. Like, we want to be able to rely on people in a healthy way of like give and take. And that's Aquarius too. It is kind of wins for all, wins for everybody. Venus too, of course, with Mars. There has to be balance when it comes to people and ourselves, and making sure that there's a good balance of who can do what, and who's got this covered in life and who doesn't, and who's got this covered and who doesn't, and who can, so we can pick up the slack for each other in a non-obsessive or a non-codependent way, because that's where this week would get kind of weird, in my opinion, as if we're really codependent and expecting things from other people and they don't show up. We can get kind of frustrated. And of course, as we come into Wednesday, we get a full moon in Leo. Gotta love a full moon in Leo. It is this, the sign of love. Leo is love. It's heart energy, self-expression, creativity, etheric fire. It's very nice. So I think we are kind of coming to this peak out moment here in Aquarius season, where it's like, wow, there's so much energy on people, and even Mars and Venus are together. So we're balancing people and relationships with ourselves and what we're building and these big things we're trying to go after. But have we lost ourselves in either the work or the people or the relationships? And I think this full moon in Leo really pulls that out. It's going to be making a really nice I don't know if I should say nice. It's kind of going through a lot. This is kind of a no-joke full moon. It's, of course, in opposition to the sun at 28 degrees of Aquarius, and it'll be at 28 Leo, but it's going to be T-square the nodes that are going to be moving to 20. I think they'll be at 26. They won't be quite at 20. They'll be 27, not quite 26 yet. I will pull up the charts in a little bit. And it's also going to be in quincunx to Pluto in Capricorn. Woo! And of course, it squares Uranus before it gets there and opposes Saturn. So there is this fixed cross. And it's important to note the fixed signs are so important in just our humanity, in our human. You look at Tarot, the Wheel of Fortune or the World card, they always have the 4 fixed signs on them. They are kind of these 4 pillars of humanity. And we're getting all that. And I think it's because there are certain things that we really have to identify with on a creative level, and especially like a pretty mature level of who we are as individuals, and kind of like we are trying to come to this peak out of expanding our heart, and that creates sort of the Taurus field that kind of goes around. Like we have to put that heart energy out to get it back in, or to receive too. So there's this balance of receiving as well as giving. We have to make sure we're giving to ourselves and others, but not obsessing over what's given. It's so funny, right? Valentine's Day, it's all about kind of the gift of love. But is love really something that has to be shown with a gift? We ask these questions, or some people do. People ask the same questions about Christmas, right? Of course, Leo energy is very generous. It will give, but of course it wants to be given back. So I think we're finding this win-win in life of where we're giving sort of our emotional creativity, and are we making sure that wherever we're giving our creativity right now, whether it's with another person, a lover, a job, that we are fully invested in something powerful, but something creative, and something more of the lines, I think, because that North Node's in Taurus, more the lines of like self-sustainability. So investing a lot of energy into how you can really be solid, right? Because Taurus is very solid, fixed earth. So we're trying to put energy into our own solid foundation here and expand our heart so that we're solid within ourselves and that we're attracting like-minded sort of heart energy in other people. So it is that balance, I suppose, as we reach this peak out of Aquarius season. It's cold in Aquarius season. Everybody can be a little isolated, a little disconnected. A lot of that can be happening. But there's also the full connection side. I think this Leo full moon is like, okay, we're ready to kind of go find the happiness in life. Like we've been cold for a while now. Let's go warm things up. It's nice to get a fire full moon with no fire anywhere in the chart. And we don't get fire until Aries season. So we still got a couple months of finishing up this week in Aquarius, coming into Pisces, and then Aries. But it is a very fated full moon in a sense that there is this sort of transformative aspect. And I think a lot of it does with Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces come down to a more unconditional love as well. So of course we have to love ourselves at a high quality. Like that's the only way to get things done, I think, is to feel good about yourself, to love yourself, to have strong soul capital within yourself. But it always comes back to, if you're giving yourself that, you're also seeing it in the reflection of other people. So it's a good week, I think, to see that check on, are you getting love? Are you receiving love from other people? And if not, do you have to check something within yourself? Or do we want to just put the blame on everybody else? I think we need to have unconditional love for ourselves first and foremost, because that alone will change the whole perspective of if you love another person or if you can love another person. And I think that's a big focus on this week, and even with this full moon. But it's kind of an intense full moon. I bet Wednesday there's a lot of connective energy, and it becomes very clear in a very faded sort of way of where the future's going for you, and are you creating a life that is of an abundant nature for yourself that you really want to be a part of, or if you're not going in that direction, and the emotions can be very high if you're not being able to take center stage or shine in your own light. So there's going to be this balance point of really finding your own light, but also realizing that everybody is their own unique light and everybody's special, and this unconditional love can go a long way. Neptune is kind of an aspect, but really Jupiter is what I wanted to say, but for some reason I said Neptune. Jupiter is going to be sextile Uranus this week. So we get this whole week of a really strong and even an exact hit of Jupiter sextile Uranus. So Jupiter, of course, our beliefs, our faith, expansion, it can also be sort of an abundant nature, but it is this amplifier of Piscean energy right now, which can be a little chaotic, but can also be very mystical. It can be very magical, extremely creative, and with good aspects to Uranus, which Uranus is, talk about just that antenna just going up to create and to connect and go into a reality with Taurus that can be ultimately abundant and expanded. It's kind of like all those decisions you've made. We're at this point right now where like, oh my gosh, like my faith and the decisions I've made based around that are accelerating me towards exactly what is of value in my life and exactly what I want and what I was looking for and what I was going after and trying to achieve. So there's just Uranus in general, right? It's very unpredictable. Things can happen quick. It's the accelerator. It's lightning in a bottle, and Jupiter expands that. Things are going to happen faster and faster and faster from here on out, especially as all these planets are starting to move faster. Mars is ripping, but Venus is getting passed by Mars this week, and then they're going to meet up again at 0 Aquarius. So we get 2 more. This week we get a Venus-Mars conjunction. Mars passes, and then in not too long, I forget the date exactly, but we can look that up when I pull up the chart. They conjunct again in Aquarius, right where Jupiter and Saturn conjuncted at 0 Aquarius on the solstice of 2020. So there's something about that 0 Aquarius point that's very important. And I think this Leo full moon amplifies that. And then Jupiter's already amplifying all these crazy, radical ways to create a life of abundance and a life of physical substance that you've been making decisions to go after for some time now. So we really want to not trip. There's a lot about relationships, of course, going on right now. There's a lot about our passions. We want to not trip if things are a little shaky because we don't know where exactly they're heading. But we have to hold the faith with Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces and keep that belief strong. It's not, a time to give up, I guess, and like self-undo either, because you want things to maybe happen so fast, or you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, things should be happening fast. There's an out there force with these outer planets, especially with, Neptune and Pisces, and that's way out there, right? That's out there. There's something about this spiritual presence and this godly-like presence with Jupiter there too, that is all about believing in something happening at an unpredictable sort of moment. But if we predict it, because that's the thing with Uranus too, it's always the last things that we think of that Uranus brings. So as we're accelerating right now, try to keep an open mind. And I think that Mercury coming into Aquarius really helps with an open mind. Like this kind of gets us, oh, this, checking this out, connecting to this, talking to this person, seeing what's up. We can fixate, of course, on the mental factors of life. But remember, you know, don't let your head trick you right now or give yourself some timeline, because Uranus is not on time-space reality either. So don't trick yourself into how long something should take or when it should happen. I think that the greatest abundance right now is in the belief and in the divine time and the divine nature of when it's going to happen, and having that faith and having that love to welcome it in whenever it's meant to show up, but to still stay dedicated and to not give up. Because that giving up right now with these planets, especially Mars and Venus conjuncting Capricorn, giving up would be self-undoing or going back into some, detrimental place would not be good. We don't want to go into those places. There's a lot of really fated stuff this week. This is honestly, it's a badass Valentine's Day. It's pretty good. I'll pull up the chart and we can jump into that. Bloop. Throw myself in there. All right. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but we'll figure this out. Where are we? All right. So let's look at Valentine's Day. 26 degrees sun. So it makes an 8. So it's already it's kind of a serious Valentine's Day, but this conjunction they're going to conjunct at 16 degrees, but they are almost exact for Valentine's Day. Mars and Venus, 15 degrees, which makes a 6, which is Libra energy. This is some strong relationship stuff. If you're excited about Valentine's Day, you're in the right spot to be excited. But it's also right the midpoint, right? Sextiling the midpoint of Jupiter and Neptune. And then Eros is right there in the mix too. And Eros is passion and love. And Eros is coming towards Neptune. So, oh my gosh. Talk about dedicating to some of the best people in our lives, or feeling really good about choices. But then I guess there is that illusion or thinking that we made the right choices that, weren't based, I guess, on a intuitive nature, and were just based on, I don't know, maybe something you were told to do. I don't know. You can use your imagination or think about your own life for how that might be a moment of kind of strange energy or feeling lost. Because you're either lost in the magic of what you're creating right now and going into this dream and feeling very lucid in it, but also very motivated to make things happen with people, with money, with jobs, with a lot of aspects that we're going after right now. You're either feeling very aligned with that, or you're feeling a little lost, I think, and a little, Lost in Space just came in. That was an old movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Lost in Space. There's just some of that vibe. I mean, we got some out there stuff coming in with all this Pisces, Aquarius, and Capricorn. This is the final third of the zodiac. This is not this is where between going out in the world and achieving and going inside spiritually and connecting to the universe, there's a lot going on. And of course, we see a lot going on and manifesting in the world. There's high strangeness out there. But this is, I think, about finding, your way through the strange in a way that is abundant and in a way that feels very good and very important about people, getting very serious about relationships. Venus in Capricorn too it takes relationships seriously. It might be slow going. So maybe you're seeing where you need to slow down and hit the brakes because this isn't looking like the thing, or you're kind of seeing where you can pick up the pace because things are looking really good, whether that's a person or something that you're going after in life right now. Because Venus is a lot of different things, of course: value, monetary stuff, comfort, taking care of yourself, relationships, other people. But there's, especially at that net 6, it's groovy for Valentine's Day. And Pluto, 2722, look at the node, 2723. Pluto for Valentine's Day is an exact trine to the north node and sextile to the south node. So this is a crazy fate train moment, especially dealing with South Node Scorpio stuff. People we've been connected with for maybe lifetimes in the past. And this is like the karma resolution point. And I think that you're either seeing where people are karmically coming in and showing up to help you create a life that's better for yourself. So it's very like based around people are showing you more value or people are showing you hell with a South Node in Scorpio. And I think that that's why this is an important Valentine's Day as the moon comes into Leo, because we got to pay attention to ourselves. We got to love ourselves. We got to be creative. We got to make choices with the Capricorn energy and Pluto here that are based around the best for yourself. And I don't mean to sound selfish with that, but nobody is going to look out for you like you can look out for you. To an extent, because we always do have good friends, and this is where people can really uplift each other too. So with Scorpio energy, this is definitely either things ending in sort of a harmonious way, like both parties kind of felt like things weren't going the right way. I'll be honest, there could be a lot of breakups. I'm just going to say it. This Valentine's Day has breakup written all over it. But it also, on the flip side, it's the exact opposite. It has like full connection, full love, creativity, abundance, some really good energy. So I think that we have a lot to be excited for, depending on, of course, where you're at. It's not always one size fits all. What's also crazy is the sun at 26 degrees, of course, is one day away from squaring the nodes. So we are in between eclipses. Right? And as we get this full moon, T-square the nodes in between eclipse seasons. In fixed energy. Like, whoa. What? And we finish off Monday with a moon square Uranus. This week is going to start off Monday with a lot of acceleration towards the path you came here to take. So you might be seeing or feeling like a lot of it is dealing with relationship stuff, and a catalyst for that in our life could be Valentine's Day. But it's bigger than that, of course. This is really coming into your own of why you're here, who you're here with, who's on the mission, who isn't. And things can be like clicking big time, or they're not clicking, and it's very obvious. And the moon will also make good aspects to Chiron as well. And of course, Jupiter making that sextile to Uranus is pretty awesome. So, Valentine's Day looks fun. It does look fun though. It's an epic Valentine's Day. I'm thirsty. Don't judge me. Tuesday's that build up. I don't want that on my screen. Okay, get off. All right. Tuesday is, of course, the sun square the nodes. So already in between eclipses, we get fate train going. Pluto's trine the nodes. Sun square it, building up to a full moon in Leo. At a Martian degree, of course, of a net 9 with the 2 and the 7. Something like this, the first 2 days of this week are on a level. Something is trying to get you to make the biggest epiphany of your life to create what you're looking for. Maybe not the biggest epiphany of your life, maybe I'm exaggerating, but this is a moment for sure where it's like something is about to happen. And a choice has to be made when you get these squares. And I think it's not necessarily like, but in a way, it's really identifying with the sun. The sun is our light. It is this identifying quality. Mars and the sun are the only two self-identifying planets that we got. So having Mars and Venus conjunct exactly, and Mars will actually pass Venus Tuesday evening at a net 7. And even 2 in the 7. So there's so much partner stuff here and people stuff. And it is choices around the right relationships. Are they healthy relationships? Are they smothering relationships? Are they codependent? Are both parties feeling like they're in their creative potential? Are they feeling like they can identify with themselves? It's very, very interesting to see what's going on with all of that. And the moon will be in sextile to Black Moon Lilith at 16 degrees of Gemini. And what is it doing? It's making a yod to Mars and Venus at 16 degrees of Capricorn. So there really is a moment Tuesday with the sun square the nodes, with Saturn in opposition to the moon, and the moon making that yod with Black Moon Lilith. Like we're going to have to communicate our emotions and what we really want and what we're identifying with in life, or we're not going to be in a creative place. This is a very important time to express everything it is that you want to achieve in life, that you're trying to make happen. Like it's serious, and Capricorn is big. Like it's serious, and it's mature decisions based around the passion that you want in life, the passion that you have, and are we receiving it? Because if our throat chakra is closed with a Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, and we're not willing to speak up about how we're truly feeling about anything in life, this is where you got to be extremely honest about what you're trying to go after right now, or what is going on. Even Uranus will be in a T-square basically with the moon and Saturn. It's definitely no joke time. But that moon in Leo is going to try and enjoy it. I think that there's something about really stepping into the stage and the light that you were meant to be on right now and connect to that fully. And there has to be that like-minded energy around, and there has to be the uniqueness within yourself too as we're in Aquarius season. Like, gotta find the passionate things, but not be obsessed. So there's also the disconnection element or the non-attached element of Aquarius. We don't want to be overly attached to anything right now with a South Node in Scorpio. We only want to be really creating. That's the thing with Taurus. I mean, this is creative energy. Of course, it wants to hold on to the best things too, but if it's not, you let it go. And that's part of the decision to step into this heart energy, is your heart is going to know exactly what that is, especially with the sun being the heart and a moon in Leo. Your heart knows what the connection is right now and what's abundant, and everything else could be some kind of a trap, especially the mind, because Mercury's gone through a lot. Mercury will be at 0 Aquarius, where Jupiter and Saturn met, where Mars and Venus are going to meet. So yeah, Mercury's kind of getting the deets like ahead of time here, and in between to, of course, the Great Conjunction, and then another very powerful one with our more personal planets of Venus and Mars with the nodes. Oh yeah, there's fated stuff. It's a big week. And then of course we get the full moon, which I'll do the exact full moon, because why not? Opposite. Boom. 2759. So we get a full moon, of course, conjunct Regulus. And when we were all born, unless you were born in 2012 or after, which I doubt anybody watching my channel was, Regulus was at 29 Leo. So it's also in the nakshatra of Maga, which is very interesting because Maga deals with ancestors. This is the part of like ancestry, past lives, connecting with all of the heritage in life. But it is also very regal. So this is a big time of, I think, finding your path based on like why you came here. I know that might sound crazy, but I feel like a lot of people have been looking for their path lately, I've noticed. And we're at a moment where this is a peak out of maybe getting some kind of fated encounter that brings up an ancestor, that brings up your guides, that brings up people that are delivering messages from your guides. Something is trying to have you take this stage that you came here to take in life. And of course, it's heightened emotions with a full moon, but this is where we don't want to, like, with a Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, like numb out. Like, we want to be kind of serious about where these things can go. And Mars past Venus. So now Mars isn't pushing Venus along so much. They are going to stay together throughout the whole trip through Capricorn, but Mars is now leading the way. So there is something about us identifying more and having a little bit more energy, because Mars pushing Venus is kind of like the goddess is like, whoa, come on, like let's stop and smell the roses. And Mars is like, no, we gotta work and crush it and do it. It's now or never. And Venus is like, I don't know. I gotta see. I gotta balance things out a little bit. Well, now Mars is like, no, follow me. I'm clearing the way. So it's a little bit better because we have that feminine energy behind Mars. So I think that this is going to be a little bit more defining and not in such a sort of timid way. And I think that, of course, MAGA and the moon in Leo, this is going to be a heightened sense of like we need courage too. We have to have courage to be unique, to have great connection. And that's, that's all I'm going to say about that for now, I think. We're going to go into the full moon, of course, more when I do the daily, but yeah, we'll go deeper into this stuff, but this is just a little teaser. And then, of course, let's go to Friday, the 18th. We come into Pisces season. So we get the sun in Pisces. We get a little ingress, come into sensitive, emotional, very emotional, no boundaries, Pisces. And kind of come into that mysticism of all things and what that can be like. But it is all things. So we also deal with like every little piece of the universe and energy. And, we become very aware and we take it all in way, whether we want to or not. And that's like what I tell Pisces moon people is like, you are taking in everything, very empathic, right? Taking in everything, whether you want to or not. So we kind of come into Friday where, yeah, there's this mystical sea goat energy, really, right? Capricorn, all that going on with Mars and Venus, but then Sun, Pisces, Jupiter, Pisces, Neptune, Pisces. This is where some of the best mysticism that you could ever go after, because you're going to feel more intuitively and more psychically than ever if you have that faith and you believe in it and you believe that you're connected to that energy. But this is also where stress or guilt or feeling like, or fear even could take people down and get them into really crazy places. I think that there is something about this energy being very difficult for anxiety for people over this next month. And it comes back to, I think, decisions that we made with Jupiter in Capricorn. I think that Jupiter in Capricorn was a big decision moment with Pluto, and now we're going to start to see as Jupiter exits later this spring and comes back even and makes those sextiles to Pluto, like we're starting to really see those sort of Jupiterian paths and the faith we took and what we decided to believe in and the decisions from there and what the sort of culmination and the stamp will be like as Jupiter will come into Aries. But of course, ingress back into Pisces and station at 28 degrees. So we're also at this interesting spot where we're feeling like a lot of things are coming to an end and starting really new beginning aspects. But then, does the rug get pulled out from under us? It's a very interesting time. But happy birthday to the Pisces out there that are about to have birthdays, and happy birthday to the Aquariuses. My buddy Justin was February 12th, so Saturday I wished him a happy birthday. Happy birthday to anybody else. February 12th, if you were born on that day, by the way, my moon sits at 24 Aquarius, so we have a sun-moon conjunction like my buddy Justin and I. It's a very powerful conjunction in synastry, so I'm just throwing that out there to anybody who didn't know. What else do I want to look at here? Of course, the moon in Virgo, we definitely are. It's kind of going to feel like a prolonged full moon, right? Like it's going to feel like a really long full moon. This whole week's going to feel like a full moon, right? We go back to Monday with a moon in Leo. So we're already feeling that full moon on Monday. Oh, well, we get Tuesday moon in Leo. We get the actual full moon on Wednesday. Thursday, we get a moon in. So we almost get this break. Like Thursday's like, okay, the full moon's done. But I don't know, it's still pretty big up there. And then, Friday, the sun ingresses into Pisces, moon finishes up, and we're like, wait a second, with opposite Neptune, what reality did we just shift ourselves into with these nodal squares, Pluto trine the nodes, a full moon in Leo? What did the ancestors just come through and show me? Are you kidding me? Did I have to clean up this much stuff? Fuck. Dang. But it is making good aspects, of course, to Venus and Mars conjunct and Pluto. and the nodes too. So there will be this grand trine between the nodes, the moon, and Pluto, which will be at 26 degrees with the moon. But nonetheless, on Friday evening, we will get this grand trine with Pluto trine the moon, and the moon trine the north node, yada yada. And it is even, a bit of a kite energy to the south node, of course, too. So there's a lot of energy on that north node in Taurus and about cleaning up the reality to get the most value and to have the capacity and to create life. And to kind of narrow things down, I think, too. Like, Scorpio energy is kind of like, oh, there's so much more, and there is so much more. And it goes into the occult and the energy we can't see. But there's something about Taurus that, like, we kind of want to look at life a little more narrowed and, like, pay attention to what really is going on right around us. Maybe we don't have to, climb out of the well and see this whole huge picture, but we do want to kind of get the magnifying glass out and get kind of critical here and pay attention and analyze what is the physical world that we are living in right now. And I think that there's something about that portal of, when some people get triggered when you say portal, but I think grand trines are definitely portal energies. But with grand trines, to me, it's not like a forceful portal. It's like you have to go see the portal and jump through the portal and be willing to do it, because grand trines are so harmonious that we can be lazy and miss them. So there's something about this earth energy that's trying to really come together for this moment Friday night. It's particular because whatever it is that you're particular about has high value. And we need to narrow the sight down to get to the bottom of what that value is that we're looking for. And it is a time to be critical, and the moon will want to be critical there as well. And it's still going to feel like a full moon, so this whole week is pretty damn intense emotionally. Just going to be real with everybody. I don't think intense necessarily means bad, but this is a big week. So something's going down where we're going to feel it in some way. And the full moon's asking for change, So where is the change in life that needs to be made? And we come into Saturday. Moon will be in Libra, post Chiron, starting to square over to the Capricorn energy. I think that Sunday will be interesting because the moon will start off the day, or it'll be midday pretty much. It'll square Mars and Venus in Capricorn. And of course, Venus would much rather be in Libra than Capricorn. And the moon would definitely not want to be in Capricorn because it's detriment there. But it's almost like it comes full circle by the end of the week. And it all starts off with this like Valentine's Day and whatever that means to people. And then it comes like full circle to Sunday. And it's like, oh boy. And then the moon finishes the day square Pluto. And quincunx the north node. It's very interesting stuff. What does that mean? When I feel into it, this is a huge week for relationships. I kind of started it off talking a lot about relationships, of course. And I think it kind of comes full circle back to that. Relationships are very important right now. It has to kind of be divine union kind of stuff. We can trick ourselves too, or we can get stuck in programs in life because of relationships. I was going through David's Hypergate school to make the trailer that he's putting out for that bundle, and I took that class, of course. I've taken all David's classes. So I highly recommend getting that because, honestly, all of his courses molded me into an astrologer. And now I do this and give readings, and it's very good stuff, and it's going to be very affordable. So check that out. But he was talking, a lot of Hypergate was as he was doing it and channeling it was about divine union, and the Matrix was about divine union. And I, was watching some of those clips again, and I think that this Valentine's Day and this moment here in Aquarius season is really connecting to whatever divine unions are to you. I don't think it necessarily has to be anything in particular of like what that looks like, but this is definitely finding unions in life that are very divinely aligned for whatever your unique mission is, And it's big for that. So relationship stuff is going to come up lightning quick and big this week. And then I don't think I did show it, but of course we finish off the week on Sunday and we have Jupiter at 11 degrees. So really we come into Friday, I think. Thursday we get the exact Jupiter Uranus sextile. So let's not forget about that Jupiter-Uranus sextile either, which is accelerating a lot of endings in Pisces, because Pisces can bring closure full circle, and Jupiter can amplify these things, and it can amplify a lot of emotion, but it's also a full connection, full disconnection from what isn't of a really solid, creative, self-love place, which comes back to the full moon. So huge week for self-love. Huge week for, gosh, the potential right now for all of us is infinite, and it can happen quick. I think people are important, and if we're not around the right energy, that's going to be part of it. Uranus is people too, and of course the sun will be in Aquarius for most of the week, so yeah, as I'm in this channel and doing that astrology, it's like I can't stress enough how important people will be and the unions that we're in. And are they of a divine nature, or are they of a self-undoing nature? And I know that's a hard one, and especially to say right now during Valentine's Day, people probably don't love that. I'll pull a card and I'll pull up the chat and say what up, but I love you guys. Appreciate you. Not trying to, rain on anybody's parade. I think it's an amazing Valentine's Day. So I don't want to scare people. I think most people are ready for this, The Magician reversed. So what? We're feeling a little like we don't have tools to create life right now, or feeling like we're lacking. I think we really want to know what we got. Like, we got the magic. Why do we feel like we're not creating right now or alchemizing this physical world? Yeah, the Tower card. Huh. Yeah. I think it is that kind of energy, but it's like we get so worried about the tower crumbling, but we got to remember that change is so necessary, and the full moon's going to bring that out, and what can be rebuilt. Because whatever tower's falling in life right now, it was eroded, it was old, it was crusty. We need to let go of it, because that's where we find all of this potential to alchemize and to create what we're looking for right now. So don't hold on to stuff if it's falling. I feel like I'm seeing like a Jenga tower in my head right now, and it's like falling over, and then like there's always somebody who tries to catch it, and it's like, yeah, that's not gonna work, and it still crumbles anyways. But then you like get hit with a piece in the head, and like giant Jenga. Like, just let it go, so that a new tower can be built. We're in a rebuilding time right now. I think all of us. I think the whole world is trying to rebuild, but that's where we're at a weird point, is because are you going to build back better, or are you going to build a better life that is in alignment with you? And I think that's where a lot of the collective is honestly at right now, not to get political about it, but. And the Ten of Wands, yeah, we're holding up a tower that is crushing us. It's too much weight. We need to drop the weight. Remember our magic. Let it go. It's not going to be that bad. This is definitely a week of heightened emotion and heightened senses. And it's going to take courage, I think, to really step back and to let God work some magic but also being in your potential, being in your truth, being in your expression. And being with the right energy is very important. I'm going to pull one more just because. Yeah, justice. There's justice out there for all of us. There's balance. So there's a lot of things in life that haven't been balanced out, and we're going to get that figured out, and we're going to justify the means in which to have the harmony and balance that we're looking for. But it's not going to be in holding up something that's already falling, and it's not going to be by not believing in your great potential to turn lead into gold in this reality. We're all alchemists, so remember that you're here to create. And I think you'll do just fine this week, whether something falls apart and gets destroyed, or whether something's getting built up from the ground up right now that is of exactly what you want. There's a lot. There's a lot to be grateful for and a lot to be excited for. How many people we got in here? Few? Woo! Hello, my friends. I really do. I love and appreciate you all. Hi, Liz. Thanks for being here. Lisa, thank you for being here too. Marcus, appreciate you, brother. Ciara, Steph, what up? Amber, Katrina, Travis, what up? 5 Rosebuds, what up? Cosmic Womb Collective, what up? What up, tribe? Love you guys. I hope that you appreciated this little live. I am going to go live again for the tarot. I'm going to set up another camera and get ready to do that. So if you are still around and you want to watch that, tarot's coming out next, and then I'm just doing everything live now because I don't want to upload anymore. So, and then I'm going to go live for the daily for tomorrow. So if you're hanging around and you want to see more, I'm coming back. I appreciate you all. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will catch you all very, very soon or tomorrow. Much love. Peace.